everybody. Hello. Things are getting wild, man. So Gorka did this interview. Sebastian Gorka. It's a new, I think, did he replace Kent as the new head of counterterrorism? And the interviewer asked him, like, what about right-wing terrorism? And, like, he immediately pivots to talking about Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson, how they're not conservatives. So it seems like, I don't know, everybody's been worried about this whole war on terror, the shit that they've been pushing for, you know, since the first Bush administration, since the early 2000s, the second Bush administration. There was always the fear that at some point they were going to turn that on the American people. And, you know, the first Iraq or the second Iraq war, sometimes I get it out of order. The one in the early 2000s, if you weren't for it, man, like you got attacked really hardcore. Like if you were against the Iraq war back then, like you saw what happened to the Dixie Chicks, like a lot of people got canceled just for speaking out because the way they handled it, basically, if you didn't support the war, you were anti-American. Like you were essentially an enemy of America because you didn't support a stupid war. And they're bringing that shit back. And if it gets to the point where they start calling us domestic terrorists, because we call out Israel, because we call out the stupid wars, it's going to get really ugly. And it looks like they're trying to do that with Tucker and Nick Fuentes. How's everybody doing? Soup, thank you for the 3. I think because it's a sticker, right? That's a sticker. It doesn't show up or give an alert. I got to set that up. I'm not sure how to do that. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted too, Akuma Skill. Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, Nerio. How you doing, buddy? Jay Sledge, John McCarter, if you're here, I hope you had a good birthday yesterday, buddy. Let's get to this clip of Sebastian Gorka, who's a guy who wasn't even born in America. Why are we letting people not even born in America be our head of counterterrorism? Kind of weird. I think you should at least be born in America. But here it is. People keep leaving out the question because he's trying to say, I never said that. But you got to kind of read in between the lines. Listen.
So let's come back to right-wing extremism.
Oh, by the way, links are in the description. If you want to support the show, it's much appreciated. Much needed to keep me around, by the way, because I got to make some money. Also, join the Discord because notifications are not really going out right now. So if you want to make sure to get notified for the show, jump on Discord. Links are in the description. Thank you, boys.
Organizational violence.
So let's come back to right-wing extremism. Do you regard it as a threat at all or anything that's important to be considering right now? Because the SPLC revelations, I feel like we just got the tip of the iceberg. We don't really know how deep it goes. I mean, is there any? Like, I guess that's the question. I'm assuming there's a little bit because it's a big country. There's a little bit of everything. But is there really anything?
So right now, I can tell you that we need to get to the bottom of what the SPLC engendered.
So the question was about right-wing extremism, okay? And look who he brings up.
If you are paying alleged putative conservative extremists, then you're funding them as a left-wing organization, then what is that? Is that left-wing extremism or right-wing extremism? That is why it is imperative that what the FBI is doing, what the money trail investigations, by God bless him, Scott Besson, will lead us to, will be crucial to understanding the real threat picture in America. But right now, we are not seeing comparable trend lines to violence on the right as we see on the left. And also, can I get extemporaneously just kind of add a little addition here?
Please.
It's up to people like you. I'm not a political analyst anymore. I'm a counterterrorism government employee.
Yeah, he should be fired.
But we have to have
this guy sucks.
Accurate snapshot on who are part of the conservative movement today. Because I would say to you, I'm not sure that Nick Fuentes or Tucker Carlson are conservatives. If you are lauding a Sharia law, if you are saying that there are Muslim states that seem to be better qualitatively than America in terms of freedom and prosperity, I'm not sure that means you're part of the conservative movement. So if you remove those individuals and you understand that they're not conservatives, what's left? Who are the people in the mainstream of the
I'd say we're more conservative than the people who claim to be conservatives, dude. Like, first of all, conservatism can't win shit. Okay? All the people are like, I'm a conservative. You're not winning anything. Okay? The coalition that won is an independent coalition of conservatives, of fucking classical liberals, a lot of people that really identify as America first now. And I mean, maybe if conservatives actually would do the things they claim to care about, like bring down the size of the federal government, you know, small government, shit like that. Like they don't. They say that shit, but then the government gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Whereas America First, we actually really kind of mean it. We do want to get down the size of fucking federal government big time because we realize that that is basically the solution. If you don't realize that's the solution, you're kind of retarded. We have to cut down the federal government like hugely, dude. And conservatives act like that's what they stand for, but yet every time they're in office and they have a chance to do it, government gets bigger and bigger. So it's almost like they're not telling the truth. But yeah, okay, I guess we're not conservatives, dude. Whatever the fuck that means. But you guys really aren't either. To be honest. You just masquerade as that.
Conservative movement, Alex, who are saying violence is okay. Hard to find people who aren't fringe figures.
So yeah, he didn't bring up Dan Bilzerian. Kind of funny how this is happening after Dan Bilzerian kind of gets called out as a Fed, and then the clips go viral of Dan Bilzerian calling, you know, he's going to go to Israel and kill all the Israelis himself. He's such a badass. And then this shit comes out, and it's about Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson. Very convenient. Yeah. And I don't think he said something where he said Tucker Carlson basically said Sharia law is like better than America, whatever. Tucker didn't say that. Like the point Tucker was making was like, we like to demonize a lot of these countries. And then you go there and you realize, it's not as bad as we make it out to be. Not that it's better than America. Not that like Sharia law is great or whatever. It's just like, it's not what you guys claim it to be. There's a lot of demonization that goes on, dude. Especially when we want to go to war with somebody. We like want to make them out to be fucking demons and like they're just like feasting on the blood of the innocent. It's like, no, they're just another country that's looking after their own interests. And are they perfect? No. Is our country perfect? Fuck no. No country's perfect. But that's, you know, they got to do that shit to justify the war. They got to make everybody think about how terrible they are. And every time I talk to somebody who's pro-Iran war, it always goes back to that. It always goes back to, but they're so terrible. Do you know what they're doing to their people? And blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay. I mean, that demonizing shit does work. That's why they do it.
Yeah, so this is something that's, I don't talk a lot about Fuentes on the show because I always knew that there was something up about it. It was very obvious to me, and I just didn't know how much. It's always tough when you go to a big newsroom like Breitbart because I've got two options. I've got ignore it, knowing this thing is eventually going to go away, or direct a bunch of fire at it. And we did a couple of pieces on him over the years that have been negative, obviously.
I remember apparently the DOJ is investigating Tucker Carlson. Or his foreign connections. I guess he talked to the wrong people or some shit. Or I don't know. I remember Tucker talked about it, but we haven't heard much details. It's probably not going to go anywhere. But I wouldn't be surprised if there are neocons within the Trump administration who would love to label anybody who's critical of Israel and critical of the Iran war as domestic terrorists. And that might be the path we're going down. And if it is, it's pretty disturbing. Pretty disturbing. But he says, I didn't say that, which, to be honest, he didn't say that. But when you're asked about right-wing extremism, it's just a lighter way of saying right-wing terrorism. You know, it's like the gateway drug to terrorism. And then he immediately pivots to Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes about how they're not actually right-wing, so you can't count them. Like it's very clear what you're doing, even though you're being smart about the way you're saying it. But he came out and denied it. Here's the one he says. I said nothing of the sort. I stated that Tucker and Fuentes should not be counted within the conservative tent. Yeah, but the context is in the question that you were asked. Why do you bring them up? Okay. And it's extremist, dude. Like America First now, like you're an extremist, dude. Like you actually want government to represent you. You want to stop stupid fucking wars and robbing American taxpayers and like actually cutting the bureaucracy, the corruption out of government and getting it small, like something our founding fathers would be happy to see. The very idea that this country was founded on, which is small government. But that's extremism now. Unless you're a conservative and you're just saying it as a bunch of bullshit to just tell people what they want to hear, then it's okay. But if you actually mean it, you really do want to go in and gut the federal government, then you're an extremist. You're basically a terrorist. But yeah, I said that Tucker and Fuentes should not be counted within the conservative tent, given that one says Sharia law is wonderful, and the other said he's a Democrat just last week. Okay. That's a misrepresentation. Obviously, Tucker didn't say Sharia law is great. And then, Nick, I mean, I guess if you want to call him a Democrat because he says to vote Democrats, well, I mean, that's a problem for you guys because you're going to lose a bunch of fucking voters. But I wouldn't say Nick is a Democrat. But he is willing. I mean, you've pissed him off and so many fucking MAGA America First voters that some of them are willing to vote Democrat as a fuck you because they're angry, because you've betrayed them. I guess you can call them Democrats, whatever. But the problem is you. It's not them. As for the U.S. counterterrorism strategy, President Trump signed just last week. Below is a screenshot listing our main threat groups. I don't see Bigfoot-obsessed podcasters. Well, who's he talking about? Joe Rogan there now? Who's the Bigfoot-obsessed podcaster? The only one I could think of is Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan had a period where he was obsessed with Bigfoot. I've always thought it was kind of stupid, Bigfoot. Or diminutive clickbait merchants. Do you? So yeah, okay, because they haven't officially done it yet, but if you read between the lines, it's clear what you're hinting at, dude. It's very clear. And of course, we got the great, wonderful Alex Jones covering this, and let's see what he has to say. But right now,
we are not seeing comparable trend lines to violence on the right as we see on the left. And also, can I get
It also sounds like they're trying to claim Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson are left-wing extremism. They don't count as being on the right. Because they're against the war, even though they supported Trump. Well, I don't think Nick supported Trump in the last election, but basically, you know what I'm saying. Nick was a big-time Trump supporter. But if you don't agree with the war, that means you're a leftist now.
Extemporaneously, crazy. Just kind of add a little addition here.
Please.
It's up to people.
We can skip ahead of this. We just watched this. I don't want to listen. I don't want to listen for this guy again. Okay. He's annoying.
Hard to find people who aren't fringe figures.
Well, once we've singled out Tucker and Fuentes and the ilk, there's no violence in our areas, our people. Where is Tucker calling for violence? Where is Nick Fuentes calling for violence? I have Nick last week and yesterday, before you even came out and said this, decrying violence and telling the nationalist movements and patriots do not engage in any offensive violence. You are a damn liar, you interloping, ladder climbing.
Bro, are they doing live Pink Trip edits at this point? Is Alex got like the fucking hyped up music live as he's going? Because that's pretty smart, dude. Yeah, just make it a live Pink Trip edit. What's up, Central? Thank you for the gifted membership, brother. Welcome, 1984. We'll see. Thank you guys for the memberships. I appreciate it. Definitely, if you can afford a little membership here or there, or the gift one, it's much appreciated. Thank you, Central Washington.
Sycophantic, gormer, worm tongue from Eastern Europe. Nothing against Eastern Europeans, but you're just a piece of crap. Gorka, the gay whale.
I like how they made the little break shorter, too.
Gorka, the gay whale, as I call him, now the head terrorism czar, the top counterterrorism official.
Wasn't that Kent's position? So this is who we got to replace Kent. Wonderful.
Maybe
you should have stayed in there, Kent.
United States.
And just leaked shit.
Only became a U.S. citizen in 2012. He has like 7 or 8 fake British accents. While he's talking, he'll be shifting in and out of weird fake British accents. He absolutely hates my guts. He supported the COVID lockdowns, 4 shots.
Oh, yeah. I forgot one clip of Gorka here. White House counterterrorism official Sebastian Gorka says certain speech could be treated as incitement of violence under government standards. Gorka says Anti-Israel speech could be defined as incitement to violence while linking those protesters to Iran and Russia. We are going to map out these individuals. Okay, what are we talking about? The devil's in the details here, right? Like, are we talking about people like Dan Bilzerian? I mean, are we talking about people who are like, I want to go kill Israelis? You know, like real, like violent rhetoric, you know, against Jewish people? Or are we talking about what I think is really what is going to end up happening? People who are critical of the country of Israel and its constant warmongering and dragging us into wars that the American people want nothing to do with. Are those people considered anti-Israel as well? And is that speech not protected? Obviously it is, fuckhead. But yeah, this guy seems like he's ready to bring about some censorship, and I wouldn't be surprised if something like this happened under Trump. Because by the way, the last censorship wave that was really bad, you know, when everybody got nuked off everything, who was president during that? Oh, it was Trump as well. Weird. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Let's listen to this fuckhead. Then we'll get back to
However, there
Alex.
are things within our laws that you are not allowed to say, right? The freedom of speech does not extend to inciting violence or threatening the lives of specific individuals. That is not permissible. Beyond that, we will map. We haven't talked much about it, but if you read the counterterrorism strategy, it's a very clear document. We don't shy away from telling the world what we're going to do. We are going to map out these individuals. We are going to identify them. We're going to find this is, God bless Scott Besson, you know, Kash Patel,
Yes.
you know, AG, the acting AG, Todd Blanche. The money trail. The money trail is the most important thing. You look at these from the river to the sea, bring the Intifada to the streets of America. It's so interesting. You're on the campus of Berkeley or you're on the streets of New York, and everybody has exactly the same placard, printed with the same font. That's a little bit strange. So, you know, I can't discuss, you know, ongoing operations, but
So if you're protesting against Israel and it's the war in Palestine, what it's doing in Lebanon, the Iran wars, well, if you're on a college campus protesting that, then what, you're going to map these people out and figure out who they are and put them on a watch list? Is that what we're doing?
the importance of malign foreign actors who leverage domestic fellow travelers. We lived this for 40 years during the Cold War. We will get to the bottom of all of it, whether it's the Singham network, whether it's Iran, whether it's Russia, whether it's anybody else. Our mission is to uphold the Constitution and at the same time protect Americans from violence.
Yeah. Sure sounds like that's what you want to do. You want to uphold the Constitution, right? Because what's more constitutional than censoring people for wrongthink? We'll get back to Alex talking about it.
He supported red flag laws. He supported
No
all the
surprise.
censorship
Really?
of Trump supporters
Really?
during the first administration. I mean, he is a bad guy. Well, Gorka has come out and put out a new national terrorism strategy, counterterrorism strategy. Remember, one of the first things Biden did in 2021 when he got in through fraud was put out his report saying the number one threat was white people and the number one crime is white terrorism. That's like saying, you know, the number one event is leprechauns running around your front yard or unicorns or something. Basically, does.
And I think the devil's in the details with that too, because what do they consider white? I think if it's like a Muslim act, you know, a Muslim blowing some shit up, is that considered white? If it's a Hispanic guy with the last name Gomez, is that considered white? It's, you know, they love to play these little games with stats, dude.
Even exist, but they then have this whole strategy to persecute and censor and all this control. Well, now it's all about left-wing terrorism and tranny groups and all the rest of it. But instead of saying they're going to prosecute them they say we're going to go after people for their behavior, not criminal behavior, but their potential behavior and their statements. And then he's talking to the Breitbart editor, and it's clearly a staged canned statement. And he's like, well, are there any right-wing terrorists? And he goes, well, no, we don't count Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes as right-wing or conservative. That's saying they're terrorists. And then, in case you didn't, wasn't clear, the Breitbart chief editor shamefully says, we'll play the clip in a moment, well, we need to investigate them. They're clearly on the payroll of Qatar, and they're clearly, and remember, Tucker about 3 months ago learned that he was under criminal investigation by the DOJ as a Qatari agent with no evidence of it. Meanwhile, Qatar gives Trump a $500 million airplane, and that's fine. And they call me a Qatari agent.
Here's the thing with the Qatari agent shit. Isn't Qatar an ally? Aren't they technically on our side? It's like people always say Al Jazeera. Oh, you're Al Jazeera. Isn't Al Jazeera, also basically an ally to Qatari-run fucking media? But I don't know. We use that as like, oh, you're a Qatari. Oh, what the fuck? Aren't they friendly with us? Aren't we supposed to be in good relations with them? But then as soon as we oppose the war, like, you're a Qatari agent. I thought Qatari was for this war.
And I'm sure as hell aren't. And they call Nick Fuentes one. And so I've been predicting this will be the next thing.
At Metal2JS420 super
Metal.
chatted $2. Yes, Latinx crime is lumped with white.
You actually said Latinx, bro? What's wrong with you, Metal? You're not supposed to say Latinx. Latinx. As a Latino, half-black Jewish man, I'm offended that you would use the word Latinx, okay? But yeah, I know. I read that same shit.
Because when you come out and call your most
Thank you,
staunch
Metal.
supporters when you get off track, scum and idiots and losers and fried. The next thing, when you put neocons in who were key architects with the Democrats, with all of the clergy response teams and the InfraGard and the training state police, local police to take on constitutional terrorists, remember under Clinton, remember under Obama? All the documents we got from local and state police and feds that were good. Remember how many secret documents we got that became international news and were confirmed to all be real? Training for a coming war with American gun owners. And now, Sebastian, the gay whale Gorka, like as in Orca, with all of his fake accents, he has now, Mr. Censorship, come out with the Breitbart editor rubbing his hands together. And in the full interview, we're only going to play a few clips of it, but you can go watch it if you want. They're like, oh, these evil people are too popular. And Breitbart's like, yes, how do we shut them down? The people don't like us now. They like Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes, who's on tomorrow for 2 hours at 1 p.m. He was going to be on today, but I had a dental appointment at 9 a.m. And then I get there, and somehow it had been canceled. So I'm here. So I moved him to tomorrow.
Do you get to charge them $25 when you cancel? The last dentist appointment I had to cancel, they charged me $25 for canceling. They give you $25 when they cancel on you? I wonder about that.
Been perfect having him on today with this, but it's okay. So look for that. I'm an interview by Russell Brand today. That'll be out this afternoon. I'm going to have that tomorrow.
Oh, not Russell Brand, bro. I don't trust Russell Brand, dude. Stay away from Russell Brand.
A lot going on. Big guest will tell you about coming up.
You got some young daughters, too. You should definitely stay away from Russell Brand.
But you saw Victor Boot a month ago on the show. Pretty smart guy. He's like the Eric Prince, the Russian version, saying, Alex, I'm tracking all of this. The way you're being demonized, being attacked, next they're going to declare you terrorist. And here we are a month later, and bingo, bingo, bingo. When he singles out Tucker and Fuentes,
I don't know, the subtitles,
you know where it's going.
The subtitles sometimes come on. Maybe I accidentally clicked them. I'll turn them off if that's bothering you guys.
Next, are there any right-wing terrorists, sir? But I don't consider Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes as being conservatives, so no. But they'll be dealt with. Don't you worry about that. Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, criminally investigate them. Get them, my lord. Get them, my lord. Get them. And then
it's a pretty good impersonation.
Tucker Carlson endorses Sharia law and Islam.
At
So Tucker's trying to-
Metal2JS420 super chatted $2. Muslim crime in UK is called Asian IDK.
Is that true? You can't trust the stats, man. They lie all the time.
Get to taunt. He's been a reporter for 30 plus years. He spent 5 years or longer off and on in the Middle East. He was blown up in a jumbo jet. They were targeting his dad, who was CIA shadow director, basically. That was 2 weeks after 9/11 over Pakistan. Crashed on the edge of the ocean, killed a bunch of people. So he's over there with the UAE and other groups trying to get peace, just like Saudi Arabia, at least on the surface is. And he said, well, you know, I get why people don't like Islam, but look at the left and transgenderism and pedophilia and the crime and the filth. You can go to some of these Islamic countries that are really nice. He's just being nice. That's not endorsing Sharia law.
Yeah, and you know, if we're gonna bring back all this like fear mongering over Muslims, which you know, I honestly, there is some issues with compatibility with our culture. Okay, but if they're so bad, why do we keep bringing them into the country in overwhelming fucking numbers, dude? Like, so the people who want to stop bringing them into our country and deport the ones that shouldn't be here, we're pro-Islam because we also don't want to start stupid wars in the Middle East? Like, no, we just don't want stupid wars, bro.
And that's certainly...
But yeah, I guess I just got a paycheck from Qatar. Give ching, 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 bro. I wish, bro, send me a fucking paycheck, Qatar. I mean, if I'm going to... I don't even know. What do I have to do to be a Qatari agent? I don't know. What do I have to support and not support? I don't know the line there. But I definitely don't support the war.
It doesn't make you a terrorist. So the left attacks Carlson, saying, you know, he's this big racist and a xenophobe and he's for sovereignty and standing up for the West. But then separately, when he wants to be friends with the world, well, he's bad. I mean, imagine trying to say that Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes are terrorists. By the way, Nick, say what you want about him. I disagree with some things he says, but he is very smart on his feet, knows history, very eloquent. He basically riffed off of people commenting about Bilzerian being on the show a few days ago. And Bilzerian's like, exterminate, you know, all of Israel, kill them all. He came on my show and said, well, I didn't really mean that. And I said, Bilzerian, you're either a Fed, which I don't think he is after I talked to him, or you're not thinking. Do you know?
I'm leaning towards it, to be honest. Do I know if he's a Fed? No, but it's a little too convenient. It's like Nick wasn't enough of a boogeyman, so they need a new boogeyman to demonize all the people who are critical of Israel. So you need someone to really pull out that violent rhetoric, and I don't know, man. I'm really sussed out. I'm more sussed out. I was sussed out with Nick. I still think it's possible Nick could have worked with the feds at some point because of January 6th. I don't know. I think it's possible. But I'm even more suspicious of Dan Bilzerian at this point than I am of Nick.
There are a lot of forces out there that will stage a false flag now and basically paint your name on.
I don't have a cat, bro. I don't own cats. I have a dog. He's laying on his little bed back there. No cats. I'm not a cat guy. I'm a dog guy. Shout out to cats, though. Nothing against cats.
A rifle. And that's, Fuentes eloquently laid that out. Fuentes had people try to come to his house and kill him, who die 5 minutes later, killing 3 people and then dying in a shootout with police. Zero media coverage nationally when that happened. Nick does not want violence. Nick is not a Fed. Nick is being targeted by the globalist. Same thing with Tucker. Same thing with me. Same thing with Megyn Kelly, because she's reformed. And it's because we are popular and we're telling the truth. They want to try to intimidate us. Trump thinks ex-ally Tucker Carlson is a terrorist now. I mean, look at this. It appears the leopards have come for Carlson's face. All because Trump is like, all of Iran will be destroyed in one day, their culture totally destroyed forever, never to return. Definition of genocide. We're like, dude, that's crazy. Stop it. And Trump comes out a day later and goes, okay, I won't nuke you, but I might turn you into a glowing, huge crater.
He did play some funny games there. I never said I'm going to nuke them. It's like, yeah, we understood what you were saying. That's clearly what you were hinting at. It's crazy. What about Trump? I mean, Trump, the way Trump talked in 2016, maybe Trump's a domestic terrorist as well. I mean, he didn't support all the stupid fucking wars. He sounded exactly like Tucker sounds now. Just Tucker didn't flip for, I don't know, whatever reason that Trump did. But maybe Trump's a domestic terrorist as well, because he was against all these stupid neocon wars. Great face by Alex.
The PR of that, the literal political and literal radioactive fallout. I mean, wow. And Tucker told him before the war, he said, listen to your counterterrorism, listen to the CIA, listen to the Pentagon, the chairman of Joint Chiefs. They're not going to fall. 90+% chance they hold on for at least a year. And they're going to close the strait for sure. You can't stop that with all their conventional weapons. Don't do it. And then we're proven right, and now the neocons have thrown Trump under the bus and say it's all his fault, the American empire's dead, and all the rest of it. And if we continue down this road, we were dead. We were going into bankruptcy. We were having our credit rating lowered. It was already happening. And Trump brought in a great economic plan to fix that, and I was all in. Yay, yay, Doge, yay, Trump, yay. People are like, God, this guy's the biggest Trump apologist ever. No, I mean, compare.
Because Doge is exactly what we fucking wanted, bro. If there was like one program you could go, yes, this is exactly what Trump supporters, MAGA, America First want, it's Doge. It's to go in there with a fucking hacksaw, bro, and just start chopping the federal government down. Just chop it down, bro. That's what we need. We don't fix this problem, which corruption, again, all of it's, we don't talk enough about corruption, but in my opinion, all of our problems stem from the corruption of our government. Because it's not just they just decided they don't want to work for us. No, they've been corrupted. Okay? They've had their fucking hands greased. So they no longer really function for the American people anymore. And the way you solve that is you basically destroy it. Most of it, not all of it. You keep a little bit. And then you deprive it of all those tax dollars, you know? And you let people keep their fucking money. Oh, what a crazy idea.
The Democrats was night and day, and then cover up the Epstein, cover up the Butler operation, all of it. And I'm just like, I'm not signing on to this. So I know Gorka's a slimeball, but I like Breitbart. Overall, they do good. But to watch their editor-in-chief sit there and nod his head and talk about criminal investigations and yes. Does the administration think calling us terrorists or coming after us is going to make people stop waking up? It will accelerate it. It will Streisand affect it. But I've already been targeted by Obama in a national security / terror investigation declassified by Trump a year and a half ago. I've already was in Crossfire Hurricane, one of the only people whose name's in there 3 times. Surveilled, targeted. They could find nothing because I'm as straight as an arrow, folks. And it just goes on and on and on. And then there was a criminal investigation of that going on. And then running those lawsuits against me, the DOJ and CIA declassified, even admitted in court. And Todd Blanche comes in and kills the investigation 6 months ago. Ed Martin. And now he's the Attorney General. We're just supposed to love that? And a lot of people, the minority of Trump supporters, but about 30% on average that I've looked at, think Trump has a 5,000 IQ, 75 trillion quid chest. I mean, Trump has more master moves than God. He goes Trump, Q, God, and everybody else. But more undercover videos by high-level administration officials, by Project
Veritas.
James O'Keefe's project, OMG Media.
Oh, it's not Veritas.
Going, oh, yeah, there's so much going on. No, Trump, we just do whatever we want. Trump's the problem. We just call the shots and do whatever we want.
That's what it seems like is going on as well. I don't. Obviously, they've convinced Trump of some shit that they've got him to go along, but it doesn't seem like he's actually running things anymore. He seems like he's kind of reached his Biden stage of just kind of being there, and everybody else is running the show, and he's just listening to his advisors who are all fucking neocons. So
that's how it really works. On a bunch of stuff, you got some good people doing good stuff, you got some other people that are just opportunists, and then you got Trump good on some issues, bad on some. But it's so complex that they basically just do whatever they want. And that's why when we see a bad policy out of Trump, we come out against it. And there's people that think, oh, no, disagree with it all. And then we win the midterms, and then Trump will be successful if you just shut up and do whatever he says. No, that's not how we win. We have to fight off all of the different bad factions that are in there trying to get the levers of control. And then when the Democrats get in, if they do, I don't support them, but I'm gonna put pressure on bad policies.
There's one simple metric if you want to win, right? That one simple metric is, do the American people feel like you made their life better? Did life get easier? Is it easier to afford to live? Okay? If you would have just maybe kept at the same level, people could have maybe had a little bit like, oh, things are okay, you know. But you did the opposite. You made it worse. And by the time the midterms come, it's going to be even worse than it is now. So by that metric, it doesn't matter what anybody what Alex Jones says or what any talking head says. Oh, just go along, shut up, you're going to lose us the midterms. No, what matters is, do the American people feel like their life is better now with Trump as president? And it's going to be hard to make that case because financially it's not. It's already not. It's already fucking worse. So you failed. I mean, if you want to fucking win, then stop failing the American people and actually make their life better. And they'll go, holy shit, life is better under Trump. I want to keep this going. But that's not the case. So cope all you want. You fucked it up. You betrayed the base. And now you're going to fucking reap the consequences of that. And that's your fault. But keep blaming all the talking heads for pointing it out.
That's what you're supposed to do. Not just mindlessly, I follow the Democrats if you're a Democrat. I follow the Republicans if you're a Republican. This is the most mindless tribalism I've ever seen. So, the new official terrorism strategy, counterterrorism strategy, literally says they will identify and neutralize political groups that are anti-American, and then they throw in or radically pro-transgender and anarchists. So the bone is, we're going to go after Antifa. We're going to go after the transgender groups. But don't worry. We define all of the former MAGA that are actually patriots as the enemy.
Did you believe in everything Trump preached when he was running for office? Okay, you're a terrorist.
Just like they tell you all the police states for the Muslims after 9/11, and then, of course, the whole time it was really for all of us.
I think Trump hates us, dude. I'm starting to feel like Trump actually might hate people. Especially, hate America. The way he's treating us, they asked him if he cared, if the financial difficulties of Americans weighed into his decision with Iran. He's like, I don't think about that. I don't care. It's like, oh, so you don't care about us. It really feels like that.
And they brought in 15 times more Muslims 25 years ago than were here previously. We fought them over there so we could bring them over here all pissed off. Here, let's beat this beehive a bunch while they're swarming and then move the beehive with all the bees chasing us to America and Europe. Fabulous idea. And when they, quote, identify and frustrate the radicals that might do terrorism with pre-crime, that means debanking, harassment, spying on you, FBI investigations, looking for something.
I would just like to let my bank know that I 100% support Israel. Okay, I am Jewish, by the way. Okay, I did convert to Judaism. I'm also part black, part Hispanic, a little bit gay. So if you debank me, that is a hate crime.
I've already been through it. And so all they got to do is when the transgender cult says, oh, they're going to kill somebody, go arrest them for a terrorist threat. All you got to do is enforce the law. 9 times out of 10, they're all about the attacks coming and then nothing's done because it's politically correct. No, don't violate the due process of the trans people. Don't violate the due process of anybody. But they butter this up. Oh, look, we're going to get the left now. We're going to come after them like they came after us. Oh, yeah. But don't worry, no, Tucker Carlson will be dealt with along with Fuentes. And, of course, they're just test cases. And they're announcing we're coming for you. Because remember what Tucker said 3 months ago? When he said 3 years ago, 4 years ago, he was being spotted by the NSA. He's, oh, you're a liar. Declassified a year later. He was told by people at the DOJ that are patriots, yeah, dude, they got full investigation on your ass, digging through everything, looking for a crooked toenail. Tucker's like, I was at his house, he was talking about it. He goes, that's fine. I've done nothing wrong, but they manufacture something. I don't care. I'm ready to die. Oh, I gotta go talk. Trump's calling. I mean, so that's where all this is. And now Tucker's the devil for actually being an angel sitting on Trump's ear, and the devil's Mark Levin and Shapiro and Netanyahu going, don't listen to the devil on your left shoulder. Listen to the angel on your right. Don't do it, Trump. You're being set up. You'll be a failure. Your whole economic agenda will fall. It could go into a total new world war. But Trump has brought in all the neocons like Gorka, and that's where we are. So the Israel First lobby admits they're losing the influence.
Honestly, I should have known better, dude, because I saw it happen in the first administration to a lesser degree than how it's happening now, but that was always my underlining fear, was that Trump's going to get into office and he's going to select all these lifelong bureaucrats. Oh, we need an expert in this thing, and the only experts that are Republican are neocons, and then he's going to surround himself with neocons, and we were going to get a neocon administration. I mean, I fucking kind of had a feeling this was going to happen, but I was like, no, he's learned this time. He's smarter this time. He's going to do better. Actually, yeah, he learned that he needs to sell out completely. That's what he learned. That seems to be the only thing he learned, was next time I need to really sell out the American people even harder and go full neocon. That's what he learned. And it's sad, but in hindsight, it's like, I should have fucking known better, dude. But what other options did we have, dude? We needed a grenade to throw into the system that hopefully get in there and just fucking. And yeah, it was the wrong kind of grenade, unfortunately.
Full war. They're in full panic mode. And so now they're 8-front war. Remember what Eddie L said a few months ago? He said, we need the same energy of the pagers killing Hamas in America with our detractors. And if you say Israel got us in this war, we're coming after you for that. And if you criticize Zionism even, we're going to get your ass. Mark Levin, Tucker, you think with your little podcast we won't come after you? You think you're safe? We'll do whatever's necessary to come after you. See,
dude, he does a good Mark Levin impersonation too.
My giant American flag female brooch. I may not be able to walk a mile or find my ass with both hands, but let me tell you, pal, yeah, you're gonna be Gitsinitz. So let's go out to break with just a clip of him with the salivating Breitbart editor.
Yeah, we saw this already. I think we had some more. I think Nick, what's the next one? Something to do with Nick, I think. Yeah, Nick's calling out Dan Bilzerian. And basically it's common sense shit. And I mean, again, it's very convenient where like they want to ramp up like how they're dealing with the anti-Israel problem, which is people who are mostly, I mean, not all, I mean, there are some legit like people that just hate Jews. To me, put them out of the equation because that's stupid thinking. But people that are against the war. And then here comes Dan Bilzerian using the kind of language that they like would love to hear so that they can paint us all as a bunch of violent extremists that just want to kill Jews when we're just against a terrible fucking, decision making from a country called Israel. It's like, why can't we criticize a country? Like, why is this the only country we can't criticize? Especially when they're fucking behaving like maniacs, dude. They're killing Christians. They're dragging us into stupid fucking wars. And yeah, but no, we're all fucking terrorists now. Because yeah, don't say anything bad about Israel. You're now a terrorist.
It's not funny. It's not cool. It doesn't make you a tough guy, Mr. 5'9".
It's funny. Nick Fuentes has to be the voice of reason here.
Roid head. Nobody is impressed with that.
And that is odd. I thought Dan Bilzerian was like a bigger guy than that. He's only 5'9". So I always thought he was bigger, but he's like he's also reminding me of the Liver King as well. I wonder if Dan Bilzerian's going to have some sort of mental episode like the Liver King, because he's reminding me of the Liver King.
Nobody is impressed with you. You think because you take steroids and you pay girls to pose with you in your daddy's house, paid for by your daddy's company, and you go on an interview and you say, give me a gun, I'm gonna and kill people. You think anybody is impressed with that little act? You think anybody finds that heroic, courageous?
Ian Carroll did. He thinks it's refreshing. It's refreshing to hear people speak their minds. Okay, Ian.
Just brave? You want to get a gun and kill people? We're waiting. I would never encourage that. It's a tough guy shtick. And it has no place in a serious political movement. None of that.
I agree. I agree with Nick 100% right here.
None of that has any place in a serious political movement. All that is a giant f***ing liability. You talk like that, you're going to get some false flag, and they're writing your name on the rifle in white Sharpie. That's what's going to happen next.
I mean, like I said, the comparison I made, which I think a lot of people kind of went, oh, you're right. Somebody shows up in your Discord and starts talking about how they want to go get a gun and go to Israel and kill Israelis. And you're going to kick them right the fuck out of your Discord and go, that guy's a Fed. But, you know, if Dan Bilzerian does it, oh, he's so based. He's so based. It's like, dude, first of all, it's stupid to think that way. Second of all, it's not helpful politically. Because at the end of the day, we have to put coalitions together so that we can politically take power back in this country and then initiate an America First agenda. But in order to do that, we have to build a coalition that's big enough to actually win elections. And that type of talk is just going to turn people off because it's fucking retarded. People don't want to hear people being violent fucking retards. I want to get a gun and go kill people. People don't want to hear that shit. Now, I'm not saying there aren't people that like it, that like hearing that, but we're talking about the majority of people, like the coalition. Like, you need the majority of people, not just the fringe who are like, yeah, I like it when he says he wants to shoot people. Like, it's just not politically smart. I mean, Nick's, I'll let Nick talk about it because he's kind of cooking right here.
You talk like that, they're going to take away free speech. They're trying to. What do you think they're talking about at every World Jewish Congress? What do you think they're talking about at every one of these summits? What do you think the ADL is talking about? The ADL is going on TV this week and saying Trump is doing a great job at rooting out anti-Semitism. What
can we, I don't know what we can do, but if there's some sort of technology where we can like keep Ron Paul alive and maybe give him like 5 years back of his life, you know, make him like 5 years young. Ron Paul really seems like he'd be a great candidate if he wasn't just, you know, so old, bro. It's sad. 'Cause I don't know about Rand Paul. Do we trust Rand Paul the same way we trust Ron Paul? I don't know if I'm there.
do you think happens when a social media celebrity with 16 million followers goes on a live stream with a young...
Kakiri, exactly. We got enough enemies in our own countries. We don't need to go to Israel just to let them fight the Muslim countries alone. Just let them fight the Muslim countries alone. Yeah, take away the support. Yeah, they want to go to war. Go to war. Have fun, Israel. Go to war against the whole fucking world, but we're not involved. Stay the fuck out of our business. Stop asking us to get into stupid wars. And then if we just had a government who actually thought about American interests, it'd be very simple to say, no, that's stupid. We're not going to fucking help you with regime change Iran. Good luck if you want to do it, but we're out of it and we're not going to help you. That's it. That's the answer. Oh, let's actually get back to being focused on how do we make life better for Americans. And let's bring back Doge, but for real this time, and just start cutting federal government down. And then let's get rid of income taxes for the majority of Americans who are living paycheck to paycheck, so we can kind of siphon away the funds that the government needs to be the bloated, corrupt piece of shit that it is. But we need to build a coalition first to do that. And we had a coalition, and if we could keep that coalition together and move it to a proper fucking place where we have real candidates who really mean what they say, it's not over. We could still fucking win some shit and enact some change. It's over underneath Trump. Obviously, Trump killed it. But that coalition's there. People still haven't changed. They're still wanting the same things, which is essentially, to sum it up in the easiest way possible, America first. Putting America first. But yeah, it's possible, dude. We can't give up. We can still have a coalition that brings about change. But it's not going to be easy, that's for sure.
Gen Z streamer and says, we're going to kill Israelis. What do you think happens after that? You are begging them to break all of our backs and bring censorship down on us. You are begging the telecom companies to take away the websites. You're begging Homeland Security to knock on everybody's door that has ever talked to you. So you know what? Tough guy, you know what, gorilla? You did us a huge favor. Now nobody can ever say that we have anything to do with each other because I don't want to be associated with that.
That was Monday night. He said that. Tuesday afternoon, Gorka goes on Breitbart and says basically that Nick Fuentes is a terrorist calling for violence. I challenge you to find anywhere where Nick Fuentes in the 8 years he's been on air, almost 10, over 9, where he's done that. It's just not true.
I've seen some clips, Alex. Of course, he was being an edgy boy, but that's the problem with a lot of the edgy boy era of Nick, is that those clips will be taken out of context and the comedy aspect of it will be removed, and it'll be, look, this is Nick calling for violence.
The most okay.
Let's see what else Alex has to say here.
And as he
before we
said,
move
resign.
on.
He said, okay, I hope you change course. You made a big mistake. And we get Gorka, Mr. Censor, Mr. Neocon,
I think, did we see this already?
Mr. New World Order, the most sycophantic person you can imagine, with this big terrorism report saying we're going to target people and identify and, quote, neutralize them off of their political stances. And he's like, don't worry. We're going after what they call right-wing, but they're not really right-wing, Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, and their ilk. And then he said, there'll be no violence because the neocons are good and the original MAGA is bad, and we will purge them, and we will purge the left as well. Yeah, I'm not holding my breath. Todd Blanche has protected the entire left and everything they've been doing.
Because at the saying, everybody, two wings of the same bird or whatever, the Democrats and the Republicans. But it is true when it comes to, I mean, MAGA now, because MAGA is, Trump. It's kind of the same thing. But, you got the neocons and you got the neolibs, and it's WWE when they fight. At the end of the day, behind the scenes, yeah, they're on the same team.
So we already played the clip, but I'm playing the end of it now. You heard them. The violence. Once we cut out Carlson.
See, these little pauses are what you got to get, Tim. These pauses are the essence of Alex
Jones.
Now.
You heard them. The violence. Once we cut out Carlson and Fuentes,
it's hard. Sometimes you lose your place, and like that's the way you're supposed to do, like public speaking. Is instead of going, you're just supposed to stop talking and just kind of gather yourself, find your place, find your next line, and then talk. But it gets a little awkward when he just stops. And then he goes, it's a little awkward, those pauses, but I love it. I love it.
Won't be any violence from the right wing because they're not right wing. Once you investigate them, and that means me, of course, who's been under this with Obama and all the rest of it, and it continued on in Trump's first administration. And to Trump's credit, they found out and gave me the DVD with all the FBI documents and everything. Said, here, this is wrong, and Trump told Ed Martin in a meeting. Martin called me and said, no, Trump wants to look into your cases. I'm like, well, wonderful. Thank you, Mr. President. And then Todd Blanche comes in and is an ABC News and says, no, Alex Jones is bad. We're killing these investigations. Did I flip out on Trump then? I said, well, I'm going to wait and see. It's not all about me, but this is a bad sign.
Yeah. And I mostly wanted to play the Nick Fuentes clip. What else we got going here? Jake Shields. Jake claims Nick is a Fed because he speaks too fast for him to understand. Poor Jakey. Life must be difficult for Jakey. He's been hit in the head a few too many times. I feel for him. CTE, brain injuries are not anything to laugh about, okay?
You think he's...
And I think this is that Leonardo Joni chick. And yeah, she's going full on. Her whole thing I've been seeing is like, she's convinced Nick Fuentes is a Fed. But not Dan Bilzerian. I mean, if you think Nick Fuentes is a Fed, you should be also skeptical of Dan Bilzerian as well.
He's always been a Fed, or do you think he's currently a Fed, or do you think he's just like an egomaniac?
I think he's a federal informant. I think he may have been groomed because there's a lot of similarities between him, between Ben Shapiro, between Kassenbaum, and between Tim Pool.
Is Tim Pool a Fed now? Is Tim Pool a fucking Fed? Now we're bringing Tim Pool into it.
You'll notice all of these people speak very fast, very quickly.
How dare they, dude? How dare they be good at speaking? It's almost like they do a show for a living, you know? Wow. Yep, that's how you know somebody's a Fed. They talk really, really fast and they speak well. Well, no one's going to accuse you of being a Fed, Jakey, because you're a retard.
They do a nice stream of consciousness. They say a lot of things. When they debate you, they try to throw you off your beam.
They don't have real debates. Do you think he's all?
I mean, yeah, that's a good argument. Guys, whatever you do, do not speak fast. If you're a fast talker, you better slow the fuck down, because otherwise, old Leonardo Giannoni Boney over here is going to think you're a Fed because you talk too fast. Yeah, funny. Yeah, Nick Fuentes was also on Steven Crowder, and here he is doubling down on his accusation, his claim that when he met with Dan Bilzerian, Dan was asking him about how he would go about assassinating like Israeli officials or some shit like that. Which honestly, I don't think Nick's making this up. I don't think he is. And maybe if there wasn't a clip of Dan Bilzerian talking like a complete idiot, saying, I want to get a gun and go to Israel. Like if I didn't see a public clip of him sounding like that, it would be less believable. But when you already have him publicly talking in that manner, like a complete retard, it makes it more believable that this probably did happen. And I'll be honest, at this point, if I'm a betting man, I'm betting that Nick is not making this up.
Look, can you tell me, like the Dan Bilzerian thing that's going on? First off, he's a little guy, isn't he?
Well, he's my height, so we're a couple of little guys. We're a couple little.
Well, I mean, because people think he's like this big hulking figure.
No,
I don't mean that.
He's we're 5'9". Him and I are 5'9", so we're a
that's
couple of
not little.
manlets. A couple of little people.
It's not big, Josh.
It's not little.
It's not larger than life. This is not. But you don't go around going like, "Hey, you're cool," right? So I hold you to a different standard. You know, you're svelte. You'll live much longer than any of us here because we're like 80 in tall guy years.
Man, I'm annoyed of all these dudes who are like 6'3" and they're so fucking proud that they're 6'3". They got to bring it up all the time. I'm tall. Don't forget, I'm tall. Someone who used to, I don't know if he still does, but Owen Benjamin used to do that all the time. I like Owen, but he would never fail to like remind people that I'm really tall. I'm tall. Don't judge. Don't think I'm short. Okay, I'm tall.
Did he actually take you aside and like ask how to kill people? Like, that's true? Because then he just says you're a Fed and it's that thing.
100%. I mean, well, he called me a Fed first, and I said, well, you did take me outside your house and say, hey, like, this is how it went down. Go to his house. He tells us, let's put our phones on the kitchen counter over here because we're going to talk about the Jews in Israel. Like, okay, like as if anyone cares. We step outside onto the patio and he goes, so how hard do you think it would be to kill some of these like Israeli ministers or whatever? I'm like, bro, I'm not touching that. I don't want nothing to do with that. But that's his move. And then he denies it. Then he says it on a stream with Sneeko. He goes on a stream with Sneeko and says, we should exterminate him. Give me a gun. I want to kill him. And then they go, I never said that to you. It's like you definitely said that to me.
Hold on a second.
I believe Nick, dude. I'm pretty good with body language, and he's coming across like this. He's not suspicious to me the way he's saying this. Like I feel like he's being honest. To my best of ability, watching somebody say something on the internet, because you never know, people could lie and just be good liars. But I believe him.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not saying that I don't believe you, but you do have a history of trolling. Like, for example, with Michael Knowles, where you took a picture and you're like, oh my gosh, he's really base. He just can't say it publicly. So being a clever guy, you could have seen that video with Sneeko and be like, yeah, he asked me to kill somebody. Is there that, or genuinely did he actually ask you?
Well, Michael Knowles, I came up to him and I said, like, hey, big fan, let's take a picture. That's a little different than like, he took my phone and then said, let's kill Israelis. Like,
yeah, okay. I know. So that actually happened.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
It was May 14th, 2024.
All right. Wow, that's very specific. I wonder if we could geolocate your phone and be like, oh my God, it's on the porch. It's true.
Probably could, yeah.
But I know that I'm going to get an army of people coming in because Dan Bilzerian, the chances of him winning, would you put it more than 0?
No, I think 0's about right.
Yeah, okay. So it's pretty tough. And look, I get it. You and I disagree on some things, but he's trying to crowd your action and come in. He's like, no, I'm the Jew guy. And it's just whatever.
He thinks I'm not anti-Semitic enough, which is, he's like, you're not obsessed with Jews enough, which is like, I never heard that one before, so.
Yeah, well, you give that to me, so see, how's the shoe on the other foot?
Yeah. Now I know how it feels,
yeah. Exactly. That's my only point. It's like, I would love a world in which there's, I'm not saying Dan Bilzerian, but I would love a world in which there's a little bit more unity because I've seen how the left has taken over institutions, but, and he said you're a Fed. Just to be clear, I asked you last time on the record, are you in fact a Fed?
No.
Yeah, you're going to just, like, he's going to say yes. Are you a Fed? Actually, yeah, I am a Fed. I'm sorry about that, guys, but yeah. He's not going to fucking say it if he is, okay? For fuck's sake. I don't know, maybe he's out from under it, dude, you know? Maybe he did his little January 6th thing, and then who the fuck knows? But yeah, somebody was bringing up January 6th. I know, I've talked about it a bunch. It's very suspicious. That's why I can't say he's not a Fed. But am I 100% certain he's a Fed? I don't know. He says things now that Feds wouldn't say. I think a Fed would be doing like what Dan Bilzerian is doing. He would completely lean into the trying to sound like an insane Nazi who just hates Jewish people. And he pulls back from that a lot. So why would he do that if he was a Fed? I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to know because, you know, there are Feds out there infiltrating movements. And of course, they're going to be trying to infiltrate America first. You say you want to sabotage the America First administration. This is not an American First administration in the way they are putting America over Israel. In what way they are putting America over Israel? Yeah, here's him talking about, again, how he wants people to vote Democrat in the midterms.
And like you said, they need to go into election weaker, which means the country would be in a worse off place. So put the country in a worse off place, sabotage the America First administration in order for the person who will appear who will be better.
It's the Israel First administration. I think that's very obvious.
So is that the issue?
Well, you say you want to sabotage the America First administration. This is not an America First administration. In what way?
It's not.
In what way are they putting America over Israel or other countries?
In the ways that we just went through that you refute at all costs with Democrat talking points. And that's where I'm confused.
They shut down deportations because they're unpopular. Then they launched a regime change war of choice in Iran. You have them going into Harvard and Yale telling them you have to teach a pro-Israel curriculum. They're reviewing 50,000 visas to see if they've ever criticized Israel. Like they reviewed every country that receives foreign aid to see if they're America First, except for Israel. That was the memo last year. So it's like, you know, you say, oh, well, you want to bring down this administration, saving America. It's not happening.
No, I didn't say saving America. I said, I'm repeating back to you what you said. This administration needs to be sabotaged. You've said that you want to see President Trump impeached. You want to see him hamstrung. And the nation needs to be worse off so that someone will appear who will save it.
Oh, I don't
So
think
make sure your audience knows that.
No,
young Americans
nation
are going to be facing double-digit unemployment, well over 20%. You're going to be seeing a massive influx of H-1Bs. You're going to see the exact opposite. You're going to see the exact...
What has Trump done about H-1Bs except fucking bring in more... Pretend like he's going to do something about it so he can have a little announcement like, oh, we're doing this thing about, and then it falls through and nothing gets done. Unemployment's already going through the roof. We got a bunch of nice little videos about showing robots. The robots are getting pretty advanced and they're coming. So it's not just AI. Now they're going to, even the stupid jobs where you just sit there sorting packages. Well, can't do those. They got robots now. I kind of understand because like you get to the point where you're so pissed off that Trump betrayed us and lied. He's a liar. He's a con artist. That's like, yeah, I want to see them suffer. I want to make an example and see them fucking get destroyed politically so that people understand that, yes, you can come and you can lie and maybe you'll win. But if you do, your legacy is always going to be tainted and people are going to fucking hate you. You're not going to be able to pretend like you were some good president, you know, and you're going to pay the cost. But again, I also think it needs to be a little more nuanced to where it's like, it depends what district you're voting in. Like if a lot of people want to see Massey win, Massey seems like one of the good ones. So why would you vote for a Democrat over Massey?
Became
you know?
a member. At Nugs 4424 celebrates 1 month of membership. What's going on in the Pingdom, fellas?
What's going on,
Hey,
Nugs?
John.
What's up, buddy? Thank you for the 1 month membership. And yeah, guys, again, if you want to support the show, it's much needed, by the way. This has been a slow month. Links are in the description. Subscribe as well and turn the notifications on. I don't know if that does anything. All I'm hearing from people lately is complaints that they're not getting notified of the stream. I don't know what to do about that. Maybe I should try to schedule the stream like 12 hours before, maybe then people I don't know, but I usually schedule it around 30 minutes if I'm late, maybe 15 minutes before the stream. So it is a little annoying that people aren't getting notifications, but you can turn on all notifications, make sure it's all notifications are selected, but they're also, YouTube is further fucking with notifications to where like even less people are going to get notifications now based on your viewing habits. So even if you select you want all notifications, YouTube may still decide you're not going to get all notifications. Thank you, El Jefe, for the 10. Oh, I see regulars getting the memberships. Thank you, guys. Oh, yeah. With the fucking clutch 10 gifted. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing good, El Jefe. El Jefe's a good dude. We share a lot of similarities with some of our struggles in life. So thank you for, I might have to pick your brain more, El Jefe, on how to handle certain things I'm going through right now. Because it's, life is insane sometimes, bro, the shit it throws at you. But yeah, we'll get back to this. Thank you, El Jefe, for the time.
What if
Welcome,
gas
everybody.
prices were $6 a gallon? That would be crazy. Oh, it's a good thing we bombed Iran
And
for
this,
Israel.
if not this, then that. There's the moving the goalposts. Be honest with your audience. You want this country to be in a worse place and this administration, Democrats to be stronger, so that, and I would go along with it if I understood it, so that someone will appear is not enough. Because I think you're going to run into the same problem that you run into with Dan Bilzerian. You're really upset about the purity test, saying we don't all have to think the same thing. And I don't think there's any candidate who would be able to pass yours. Here's mine. No money for Israel at all. AIPAC should be treated like every single other foreign lobbying organization. Fuck them with a wire brush. Could you vote for me? Because I'm not going to go any further than that.
I'm not saying the country has to be
Is Crowder about to run for office?
worse off. I'm saying the administration does. And what I said at the very beginning is the administration is doing bad things. War with Iran is bad. If the Democrats could get in and shut that down, that's good. If Democrats can get in and subpoena and impeach these people that are doing these things, that's good. So no, I actually don't think the country's going to be worse off. I think the administration.
The reason why everything sucks, I mean, this month, whatever, with YouTube, it's the e-shitification of YouTube. They've been doing this slowly for a long fucking time now, where it's taking away the choice of the viewer. You hear creators talk about it because they're the ones that are affected greatly by it, and they notice it as soon as it happens, where viewers are a little slower to notice because you still get a feed of a bunch of videos. There's still shit to watch, so you just kind of move where YouTube takes you. But that's what YouTube's been doing slowly, is taking away the choice from the viewer and wanting more control over what people are watching. And yeah, that's the way it goes. Your followers mean nothing. And if you have followers and you don't make the same, I saw this on X. This was going viral about all these TikTokers where they have like one video that does well, and then every video is just a recopy of that same video over and over and over again. And they're like, why? This must suck. This is like, that must be like torture to have to live that life where you're just making the same video over and over. And it's like, yeah, most of these people don't want to do that. But you find out real quickly when you make a different video and no one sees it, that's what the fucking algorithm wants. The algorithm immediately looks at your video and goes, is this video like the video that did well? Nope, it's a different video. It's a different format. Okay, well, it's not going anywhere. And then you do the same format. The algorithm scans it and goes, oh, this one looks like the one that did well, so let's push it out. So it's these fucking algorithms just destroying everything. And the algorithms could be great if they were very simple, the way they were, early, 10 plus years ago on YouTube, or it was just simply like, what are you interested in? Let's find you creators that are in your zone of interest, and like let you fill up your feed with a bunch of shit you like, and then, but it's not that anymore. YouTube, and I mean, from a conspiratorial point of view, it makes sense. Like, do the powers that be want you watching shit that's going to radicalize you against the corruption, or do they want you in your safe little bubble, not thinking about how you're getting fucked in the ass every day? So yeah, but that's what it is, man. It is what it is.
Nation's going to be worse off.
Okay.
The administration's unpopular.
Well, okay. So you mean you think it'll just be painful, that you think that Democrats will just be painful for the Trump administration, not for the American people? Do I have that correct?
Yeah, because again, they're only going to control the House.
Okay.
So that's the goal, basically. I mean, I do understand it, but I think it's, you need to be more nuanced, because if you do have a really good Republican running, then vote for the Republican. Vote for the good candidate. If the good candidate's Democrat, if it's Libertarian, whatever, vote for the good candidate. The one who's standing up for freedom of speech, the one who's against the war, et cetera, et cetera. Steven Crowder asked Nick Fuentes if he would vote for him if he ran for president.
I'm thinking of running for office.
Guys, Steven Crowder 2028. Is this where we're at now? Steven Crowder 2028?
And I can't stand the Mitt Romneys and the John McCains of the world. All right. Now, I understand we live in a two-party system, and we need to have coalitions. We need to have voting blocks if we want to win the country. So you have to have all of this base that have already voted Republican, conservatives right across the board. And we know boomers, okay, people make fun of them, but they outvote Gen Z by a significant margin, certainly millennials. Okay, so my stance is, let's say it's me. All right, shut down the border, mass deportations, build the wall immediately, completely shut down H-1Bs. I'd put a $500,000 fee on it in case someone's bringing in the next Elon Musk or Nikolai Tesla from El Salvador, for God's sakes. I don't know. Something that wouldn't affect a multi-million-dollar salary.
I mean, that all sounds good, but, saying it's one thing. Like, are you actually going to do it? Or are you going to get into office and then, somebody's going to get you behind doors and be like, that's the problem. Can't do that, Steven. Oh, the donations might dry up. The donors might go away. The donor's going to be upset, Steven.
Of course, we'd continue with the Supreme Court.
Is Steven that guy, though? Is he that guy that's going to get in there and do the thing that's going to fucking put his life in danger? And by the way, Steven, you're Canadian. I don't even think you can run for fucking president, dude. What are we talking about?
More authorities that deals with abortion restrictions. So I don't know how much more I could do that at this point. Tariffs on certainly industries.
Isn't he? I know he's from Detroit too, but isn't he Canadian? Where was Steven? He was born in Canada, right? No, place of birth, Detroit, Michigan. Never mind. I'm sorry. If he was born in Detroit, childhood raised in Canada. Okay. All right, so he could run for president because he was born in Detroit, but raised in Canada. Do we want a president who was in their childhood was raised in Canada? I don't know if the American people would go for that.
Taking advantage of us so that they are reciprocal. I would do my best to onshore jobs by basically going the opposite of directions like NAFTA. I'd punish companies.
According to Google, it says he's born in Detroit.
That offshore them, incentivize them to onshore them. I'd have tax cuts across the board, but certainly middle-class families. No more foreign lobbying organizations, and no more blank check to Israel. And of course, no more money to Ukraine. I would pull us from NATO until everyone meets their payments.
Oh, that sounds good, but I don't want to just hear tax breaks. I want to hear an end of stealing people's fucking earnings that they work for. Unless, I mean, again, I don't care if you're making 100 million and you get a 5% tax rate after anything over 100 million, like shit like that, I could give a fuck about. But people living paycheck to paycheck, working on a salary. Yeah, we got to stop robbing their fucking money, dude, and let them keep the money they work for. Why is that too much to ask for?
But maybe I think that Iran is a threat. Could you vote for me?
So all that, but Iran is a threat. So basically you're for the war. Oh, what a disappointment. No, I can't. Because I got to find another candidate that says all that stuff at the beginning, but a little bit better, but also is against stupid fucking wars. Is that too much to ask for?
Well, again, it's like, do you think Iran is a threat?
That's a very realistic candidate. Could you vote for me?
Okay.
Could you be a part of my coalition?
Here's the problem. You go to war with Iran. What does that mean? You say, well, we'll give them 3 months. It's like, how are we going to win this one? Gas prices are $5, $6 a gallon. Strait of Hormuz is closed. Israel is chomping at the bit for us to reignite the war and expand it. It's like, are we getting into another Iraq? Are we invading Iran? Are we nuking Iran?
I'm asking you all those other things. In other words, no candidate is perfect. You've bitched about the purity test a lot lately. Let's reduce it.
Is that purity to say I don't want to war with Iran?
I supported the military intervention in Iran. So all those other things. There's a Democrat.
You're going to lose. No, I won't support you because you're going to lose. Because supporting the war in Iran is a losing fucking political move. It's fucking retarded. And why would you support the war in Iran? Oh, because I think they're a threat? I don't know, man. I don't think I could vote for a candidate that would be for the war in Iran. Even if you were legit for all the things he claims to be for, and I felt you were going to follow through on that, the cost of fucking this war is it's just not worth it, dude. You got to have a line in the sand somewhere.
Who was to the left on all those other things, but was vehemently against Iran. Could you vote for me? Could you be a part of my coalition?
No.
If I want to take back the White House?
Fuck you.
I don't know what the value of the thought experiment is. A war with Iran is not a purity spiral.
I'm trying to figure out what matters most. Because candidates who may magically appear need to know what the purity test is for 2028 because we still don't have a name or description. Well, I'm saying someone like me, I should meet the purity test, except for, you know what? I'll give it 3 months in Iran. But everything else.
Okay.
Would you vote for me?
Then that's assuming, again, that you can bomb Iran and then walk away. We're going to bomb Iran a little bit, but not like, is that what's happening? No, we're stuck.
Could you vote for me?
So you're going to do all that shit, but you're still going to fuck up the entire global markets? And you're going to have the Strait of Hormuz shut and the cost of energy go up through the roof and a lack of fertilizer. We're running out of, there's a scare now about motor oil. Like, go get your oil changed now before we run out of motor oil. That's where we're at now. Like, no, why not just, why do you need to do that stupid decision? Why is that so important for you? Why couldn't you just be, okay, we don't need to go to a war. It's not going to really make a difference if we go or don't go. It's not that big of a deal. So just be against the war because that's what's going to get you elected, retarded Crowder over here.
No, I can't. Okay. I need America first.
Okay.
And America first means we're not at war with Iran and we're not importing 1 million illegals every year.
I got it. That's fair.
Yeah, it is fair, Stephen. You're not getting our vote. I wonder if he's just doing that as a thought experiment or if he really is thinking about running for president. Because I don't think Crowder could win, man. Trump just said, I don't think about American financial situation. This is, again, why would you say this out loud? Even if you really felt this way, like say you were some evil dude who really felt this way, because that's pretty fucked up as the president to feel that way. You would think you would have the common sense to not actually say it out loud, like every other politician does, and pretend like you do care. So this is weird, and it kind of makes me feel like maybe Trump is mentally slipping.
When you're negotiating with Iran, Mr. President, to what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing.
And I wonder why you're so unpopular. Because, first of all, yeah, it's very obvious you don't. Your behavior proves you don't. And then you come out and just fucking say it and just confirm everybody's suspicion that you don't give a fuck about the suffering of the American people. Like, this is... I hate to keep saying retarded, but this is retarded. mean, first of all, it's cruel not to care about the suffering of the American people, especially when you ran on an economy guy and you're going to make life so much better for Americans. But it's also just so fucking dumb. Like, there's no strategy here. Like, why are you saying this out loud? Like, if you're evil and dumb.
We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all. That's the only thing that motivates.
So about a month ago, Trump says, I don't care about Medicare, Medicaid, or
child care.
Daycare for Americans. We are now a war economy.
Again, why would you say that out loud, too?
And I've got a war to fight. And then the war is for Israel.
There's been reports, which I was suspicious that this could be happening, but that Trump did this because he thought if he started a war, because everything was already going south, and he thought if he started a war, that would make Americans rally behind him and his approval rating would go up like it has in the past with other presidents, like for George W. Bush. But what Trump doesn't understand is that there was 9/11. People actually rallied behind the president and supported the wars because of 9/11, because there was this huge attack that scared everybody and brought everybody to the table of like, yeah, we need to do something. Whereas we had nothing like that, Trump. All you had was fear mongering about nukes that like people have already fucking don't give a fuck about. So if that's the case, again, just not good decision making.
Now Trump says it's not possible, let's put that back up, for the United States, again, to care about Medicare, Medicaid, and all the rest of it. You've already seen that clip. I just want to remind you of that, okay? Now Trump came out today, leaving to get on Air Force One to go to China, and said, I don't think about Americans' financial situation when negotiating with Iran war. Now, he knows they're holding us hostage with the Strait. He knows it's destroying the world economy. It's going to starve a bunch of poor people to death, places like Africa and Asia. And so he's basically saying, I don't care if you put a gun to my head. Well, the gun's not to your head, it's to everybody else's, Trump. You're running around with your gold toilets and gold everywhere and, you know, your kids making tons of money off all the Bitcoin, whatever. The point is this is a Marie Antoinette, let them eat cake. Now, in the French Revolution, it came out later, they said they're starving, open up the granaries, you know, give them food. And she said, no, let them eat cake. She didn't do that.
Yeah, that was a lie.
That was propaganda. But they got her and cut her
I'm an expert on the French Revolution, by the way.
head off regardless. They stormed the Bastille. Trump is literally saying...
Which, by the way, if we continue down the route we're in, where we have one government after another worse than the last one, and Americans realize that you can't vote your way out of this problem, and you have a corrupt government that's actively undermining your ability to pursue the American dream, we might see a French-style revolution in this country, and that would be fucking ugly, bro. Ugly as fuck.
Let them eat cake here. And you could not hand the Democrats a better weapon 6 months out from the midterms. I mean, these will be in TV ads by tomorrow. When I saw it a month ago, I said, that'll be a TV ad by tomorrow. They ran TV ads of Trump saying, I don't care about Medicare and Medicaid. We're a war economy. I don't think about American financial situation. As power prices climb 61%, inflation accelerates, CPI 3.8.
Oh, but it was worse under Biden. Well, why was it worse under Biden? It was worse coming out of Trump's administration. People used to always know that, like, a lot of the shit that happens year one, it's usually the result of the previous president. So was Biden great? No, Biden was fucking terrible. But to act like the entire problem of inflation was on Biden's hands, no, it was Trump handing out fucking checks to everybody, allowing the fucking the economy to be locked down, and then just printing money and giving everybody fucking checks. And then with a GDP that was zero, essentially. Yeah, that creates massive inflation, okay? Production goes down, spending goes up, you get inflation. And I mean, at least Biden didn't start any stupid fucking wars. Yeah, he supported Ukraine and sent Ukraine a bunch of fucking money, but honestly, the way things are going, Trump will be comparable to as being as disastrous as Biden if he continues down this route. If not
that
worse.
was the worst peak of Biden's level.
Honestly.
So inflation is out of control, all because of the straits, and it's just getting worse. Here is the new whopper statement of Trump, completely tone deaf, bull in the China cabinet, and I'm supposed to just, it's 50D chess. No, it ain't. Here it is.
When you're negotiating with Iran, Mr. President, to what extent are Americans...
420 became a member.
What's up, Metal? Upgraded membership. Oh, okay. Appreciate you, brother. Welcome to the new levels. You just leveled up.
Financial situation motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all. That's the only thing that motivates.
Because the United States can't take care of daycare. That has to be up to a state. We can't take care of daycare. We're a big country. We have 50 states. We have all these other people. We're fighting wars. We can't take care of daycare. You got to let a state take care of daycare. And they.
He's just
Leroy.45 long super chatted $5, saluting face.
Leroy, what's up? Thank you for the 5, buddy. I appreciate you. Salute back. Again, why would you say this out loud? It's almost like Trump expects to lose and just doesn't care.
They should pay for it, too. They should pay. They have to raise their taxes, but they should pay for it. And we could lower our taxes a little bit to them to make up, but it's not possible for us to take care of daycare, Medicaid, Medicare, all these individual.
If he said this at the same time he was drastically cutting the budget of the federal government and cutting taxes, and that was the context of why he's saying this, I'd be like, great. But he's saying this because he started a stupid fucking war and he'd rather put money towards war.
Things. Okay. They can do it on a state basis. You can't do it on a federal. We have to take care of one thing, military protection.
I mean, what do you say to that? You talk about handing Democrats a victory.
Sometimes Alex pauses it on like, what happened? Did the stream stop playing?
Thing, military protection.
I mean, what do you say to that? You talk about handing Democrats.
That was about 5.5 seconds there.
Democrats a victory. I thought that statement a month ago could not be any worse. I didn't think you could top it. He just did it. And it's like the callers earlier. They're like, well, it'll make our oil production go up, so in the end we win. Yeah, it takes at least a year. Meanwhile, the fertilizer is cut off and tens of millions starve to death conservatively. And people are like, well, whatever. So, okay. Great. I'm glad you're optimistic. We'll see how it works out.
That's how I feel too, man. I mean, I have family members, not all of them, but I have family members that just will not give up with on Trump. You know, they put too much hope, and now it's just like a faith thing. And they have a job. They're making it, so they're like, oh, things are great. Things are great. What are you talking about? The economy's great, and we got so many jobs coming, and all this investment coming in, and it's like, bro. At some point, you wake up to this new Trump, and you realize like everything is a lie. And some people haven't woken up to that. They still believe the shit he's saying. It's like, no, this isn't 2018, 2016 Trump, saying the uncomfortable truth, saying the things people want to hear that are unpopular to the establishment, but very popular with the regular people. This is not who Trump is anymore. Trump is now a George Bushite neocon who is just propaganda. Everything that comes out of his mouth is bullshit. And it's sad to see. And here we are. While April CPI inflation rose to 3.8%, inflation is much higher in many basic necessities. Energy commodity inflation, 29% up. Gasoline inflation, 28% up. Airfare inflation, 20% up. this might literally bankrupt. We might not even be able to fly here in a year or two, guys. Like, we might completely destroy our airline industry. I hope not, but it's looking bad. Energy inflation up 17%. Electricity inflation up 6%. Fruits and vegetables 6%. Hospital services 5%. Motor vehicle repair 5%. Apparel inflation 4%. Yeah, I mean, that's just in April because, I mean, dude, I had to get my car fixed a while back. And that shit is expensive. That shit's gone up. This has driven cumulative inflation since 2020 to 29%, meaning goods that cost $100 in 2020 now cost $129 today. Inflation remains a major issue for Americans. And then JD Vance basically came out and said, Trump didn't say that. But yeah, you said that. It's on camera. You said it on camera. What do you mean?
When you're negotiating with Iran, Mr. President, to what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon.
I don't think the president said that. I think
because that's what we fucking voted for, right? I know he said that shit. That would be that's the cope of the pro-Trump people who are still pro-Trump. He always said it when he ran that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Yeah, well, I mean, I always figured he's just trying to please the boomers that we need to vote, you know, because there's still the old boomer neocons that you got to kind of not scare off. And I didn't take that to mean, oh, we're going to start a fucking war. I took that to mean we're going to keep doing the sanctions and we're going to keep playing hardball and all that. And I'm not even for sanctions. I think we need to stop fucking with other countries' economy unless there's like, you know, some serious, terrible shit or whatever, you know. I don't know. I just don't think we should be doing I don't even think it works either. It's proving not to work. I mean, it just builds a fucking, like an alternate economy, right? Like BRICS and all that's like sprouting out because of that. It's like, yeah, I don't know. We just need to stop playing daddy. Okay. It's like, daddy, can you stop spending so much time at the neighbor's house, helping them with their problems? And maybe daddy can come home and help his children and his wife with their problems in his fucking house. But no, daddy's over at the neighbor's house, fucking fixing the sink, doing all kinds of chores, playing with the neighbor's kids. We need daddy at home.
that's a misrepresentation of what the president said. But look, I agree with the president that Iran should not have a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, let's see.
The other thing, we cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon.
I don't think the president said that. I think that's a misrepresentation.
He said that, JD Vance. They do this all the time now. Because there is legit so much shit out of context that the excuse that's just out of context is believable because so much shit is out of context. So it's like, I believe it's a misrepresentation. It's like Dan Bilzerian tried to do the same thing. And it's like, no, Dan, that's what you fucking said, bro. That's what you said.
Of what the president said. But look, I agree with the president that Iran should not have a nuclear weapon.
Okay, well, good luck. Maybe you can run for governor in Ohio, Vance. Go back to the Senate or some shit because you're not going to win presidency, dude. Breaking, Ohio has just set a new all-time record for average diesel price, $6.12, beating out the $6.11 tally from June 20th, 2022. Ohio joins Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, and Wisconsin in setting new records again today. That's great. That's great. That's what I voted for. I wanted to set new records for the cost of diesel. Oh, but yeah, it's still only 100, guys. It's still only 100. That shit's weird too. Yeah, so here's the 5 worst polls ever for any president on inflation. Donald Trump.
We've been talking about inflation.
Congratulations. You're setting records, Donald. That's how good you are. You're doing. You're setting records. Oh wait, they're not good records. They're bad records. Never mind.
We've been talking about inflation. We've been talking about the president's approval on it, which is not good. Our new poll shows that people are very unhappy with the economy, with inflation, with his handling of inflation. On a historical perspective, though, how much don't they like how he's handling inflation?
These are the ugliest numbers I have ever seen on inflation. And it's not just one poll, Johnny Berman. It's many polls. Just take a look here. President's net approval on inflation. The 5 worst polls ever for any president. They all belong to Donald John Trump, and they have all occurred in the last month. The CNN poll, one of them, 48 points below water on the net approval rating. So what we're talking about here is the worst numbers ever in multiple polls now belong to the President of the United States, Donald Trump. It is a record, simply put, you do not want to have.
The 5 worst polls ever.
5 worst polls ever.
Joe Biden's not in there?
Joe Biden's
Jimmy
not.
Carter's not in there?
Jimmy Carter's not in there.
All Donald Trump?
All Donald Trump. The 5 worst ever belong to this gentleman on this side of the screen.
All right.
They're really rubbing it in, aren't they?
Are Americans, saying that it's because of Donald Trump that they're seeing these numbers? And how has that sort of changed over time?
Yeah, the reason why the inflation numbers are so bad for Donald Trump and
Yeah, and this is not Trump's fault. This is Tucker Carlson's fault. This is Nick Fuentes' fault. If only they would stop riling people up on the internet. No, it's people are suffering and they're fucking pissed off, retard.
in terms of net approval rating is because they are blaming Donald Trump for the high inflation. I mean, just look at this and compare it to term number one. Say Trump's effect on the cost of living now that he has increased it in their communities. We're talking 77% of Americans say that Donald Trump has, in fact, increased the cost of living in their community. Promises made by Donald Trump in the minds of the American people are not promises kept by Donald Trump, because look back in 2024. Did the Americans believe that he hurt them when it came to the cost of living in term number one? Just 40% of Americans said that. We now have nearly double that, saying that, in fact, when it comes to the cost of living, that Donald Trump's policies have increased it in their communities. No wonder he has the 5 worst polls on inflation of all time when it comes to net approval rating, because the American people blame the President of the United States for, in fact, the increase in the cost of living.
Now, none of this might matter.
So when Democrats take power again, and all the Mark Levins and the fucking, all the usual fucking neocons on the right start screaming about how it's all Tucker Carlson's fault and it's Alex Jones' fault and it's all these woke podcasters on the right, blah, 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 the woke right. Just remember, they did it to themselves. They absolutely did it to themselves. Don't let them forget it.
If people didn't think that prices were a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday, obviously, Donald Trump had that, little press conference, the little huddle going on outside in which he essentially said when it came to Iran, the financial concerns aren't for me, right? It's not something I'm thinking about. Well, for the American people, they are absolutely thinking about economy and the cost of living, and they are thinking at it much more so than they did back in January. In January, it was just 42%. Now look at this. The majority of Americans say the top issue is, in fact, the economy and the cost of living at 55%. And more than that, it's majorities of those who lean Democratic.
Actually, I'm surprised that's not even higher. Only 55% consider the top issue to be the economy and cost of living. I guess the other 45% must be bawling right now. They're like not even thinking about how shitty things are. I would think that'd be higher than 55, but
as well as those who lean Republican.
The thing is, people that are doing well right now, because even in the shittiest of economies, there are people doing well. They think everything's great. Their bank account's getting fatter. They're making more money. Everything's great. They probably have assets. So as inflation kills everybody else, their worth, what their worth goes up, because that's what you need to do. When inflation really hits hard, you got to own assets so that, those assets will rise with inflation and you don't lose money. Whereas if you're holding money, the value of that shit goes down every single day. So
Republicans, Democrats, united on.
Yeah, this guy he is really happy about this. He's really excited. Fox News is basically waving the white flag on inflation.
Now the expectation is not really for inflation to get much better throughout most of 2026. That's the story that you're seeing in these reports. Essentially, there's going to be some tariff inflation passing through on the good side. Now you have energy prices impacting services. It probably just isn't going to get that much better from here, and I think investors know that. They're focused on the AI story and hoping this inflation story doesn't get too much worse.
Yeah, AI is going to save the economy, guys. Guys, we all have to be fired and replaced by AI so we can save the economy. You want to save the economy, right? Right? Joe Rogan. I talked to Tim Dillon today. He told me that gas is $7.90 a gallon in LA right now.
And he's not wrong though with the way gas prices are. I talked to Tim Dillon today. I was on the phone with him when I came to the studio. He told me that gas is $7.90 a gallon in LA right now.
Dude, that's down from what it was. I was out there a month shooting a commercial, and it was up to $8.40 something.
Here's what I don't understand: are we getting oil from Iran?
No. That's
so
maybe 3 or 4% is from there.
So are they just fucking us in the ass?
They just know, Americans know if we go to war, we can increase the gas price, so we all just go along with it.
Is that real, or is it global prices went up because some of the gas can't get to where it needs to go? And so,
or is it because 20% of the world's oil supply is locked up and not moving? So what happens when you have demand and then you have supply, and then supply drops by 20%, but demand continues rising? I know it's all a grift. But that's actually how things work. It's supply and demand, and supply's going down, demand's not. So cost goes up. That's the world we live in, unfortunately.
So they need to make that money, so they just fuck you.
I'm sure.
Isn't it funny?
I'm sure there's some of that too. People are going to take advantage, of course.
They're like, we're going to make money no matter what.
Yeah.
The American people are going to
100%.
lose money, so we make the same amount of money.
And also,
fuck you. You need oil.
But my whole thing is, even like when we go to war, people are like, yeah, they're just doing it for money. It's like, how much fucking money do they need? They're all rich anyway.
American gas prices are rising mainly because crude oil has become more expensive due to the war with Iran and disruptions in global oil supply, plus normal seasons and cost factors in refining, distribution, and taxes. Biggest driver, crude oil in the Iran war. But what if we got all our oil from America?
Which we can do.
Well, if we did that, why would oil go up?
Because look, American fuel prices are tied to a global
price,
oil market.
Well, we would just start selling it.
That's stupid.
The market.
Yeah, but
decides.
they're a bunch of crooks. They're a bunch of crooks.
Yes.
We should have a national oil company. And only sell in America. Keep it in-house.
Well, I mean, you could do like a moratorium on actually exporting any oil, because that's what they're doing. The price is going up. They're going to export. I mean, but yeah, this is the thing. We send a lot of our oil out to other countries.
No matter what
right there
foul shit we do.
And it's going to take a long time, from what I understand, to get that Venezuelan oil going, because we need like new fucking refineries and shit to be able to refine that heavy crude or something like that. I'm not an expert, but like there's a lot of different types of oil. Like, apparently the oil that comes from Iran is like the cleanest, best oil
outside the world.
Companies can still sell wherever they want.
Yeah. Even though U.S. is the world's largest oil producer, companies can sell oil on the global market to whoever pays the highest price.
And it fucks us.
High world prices still translate into high domestic gas prices. Hey, Mr. President, please fix that.
Yeah, fix that by not going to stupid war. Yeah. Fix that thing that problem you made that didn't exist before you made a stupid fucking decision. Maybe, say, okay, we're done. We're leaving. Iran, we're done. We're gonna, whatever. We're leaving. You can open the strait. No more bombing. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. We can't control Israel, but at least it will be just Israel's fault at that point and not our fault, too.
Get back some.
I don't know if he can do that. They'll kill him. They tried to kill him 3 times already. You try to fuck with that oil money. Oh, and all of a sudden, President JD is crying on TV.
JD.
I'm gonna miss Donald. He was a great mentor to me, and though I didn't always agree with everything he said.
Here's the thing about that too. Like, people think possibly what's going on is that Trump is afraid for his life, and that the signal's been sent that, hey, if you don't play ball, we're going to kill you. Why can't you, as the president, just do an emergency fucking speech from the Oval Office and be like, hey guys, I'm trying to fix this country, But the swamp, this guy, that guy, name names, are threatening to kill me, and they've already tried. Like, just say it. Let the American people know that's going on, and then there's some protection there, because now it's not in the dark. And if something happens, people know whose house to show up to when the revolution starts, you know? I don't know.
And I wish he didn't post that picture of him as Jesus.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing? Hey, you know what's crazy?
Yeah. Yeah, Rogan. What was he talking about? Yeah, this is him talking to Gad Sad. If that's how you say the guy's name. Most Americans don't support the Iran war. Oh, really? You're just figuring that out?
Most people in America do not support this war.
You just figured that one out?
It's the large percentage of people think it was a bad idea.
What are your thoughts?
I don't think it's a good idea.
Why?
Because first of all, it doesn't.
Then why don't you text Trump about that too? Yeah, you got your ibogaine or whatever. Why don't you send a little text to Trump and be like, hey, you think we could maybe stop this war and, you know, give Iran some things to make them happy so they open the strait so we could. How about that? Send him that text, please, Trump, Rogan, please.
Seem to have a clear resolution, right? It's like we went over there because we were told that they were very close to developing a nuclear weapon. But if you've paid attention to what Netanyahu has said over the last few decades, it's always been they're a year away, they're 2 months away, they're whatever it is. I mean, he's been doing this forever.
No, Quixotic, not this episode. There are some Rogan episodes I might do at some point. I actually am pretty far along on a supercut, but I'm a little nervous about releasing it because it's not a Rogan podcast cut. It's a Bill Maher podcast cut. And Bill's not, let's just say Bill doesn't have a sense of humor about himself because Bill got mad when Kyle Dunnigan used to do impressions of him. And then I think Bill got mad at Tim Heidecker because Tim Heidecker did a parody of Club Random. So I'm going to have to be real careful about the way I put that out. But it's going to be a follow-up to this one. Because Dr. So, the sex neuroscientist, was on Bill Maher's show. And she always has just great interviews that just work good for Supercuts. So it'll probably be a follow-up to that here, in case you guys don't remember, because this one didn't get enough attention because YouTube hates me. But basically, I'm going to make a part 2 to this one. But it's going to be with Bill Maher this time instead of Rogan. And it's looking like it's going to be fucking fantastic. I just got to figure out the right angle to get it clickbaity so people will actually fucking click on it. Oh, let me see. Trying to find it. Let's just watch it so you guys know what I'm talking about because this should be done pretty soon. And I think this is again one of my best edits. You know, and it's sad to me that my best work gets 1/10 of the views that my older, shittier work gets. But yeah, I'm gonna make a follow up to this one, but this time, instead of helping Joe Rogan with his problems, she's going to help Bill Maher. And she's great. She shared the last one I did. So I might have to send her a DM and be like, hey, when Bill Maher freaks out about this parody I'm making, can you put in a good word for me? This is one that I'm going to have to, people are going to complain about this, but this one I'm going to have to lead with the disclaimer that makes it clear it's a fucking parody. Because I don't want to get fucking striked. I know I would win in court. Right? So, like, if Bill wants to go down that route, I'll win in fucking court because clear-cut parody, transformative fair use, and it's a waste. It's a waste of money and time. But I still don't want to have to go through the getting a strike and then all that bullshit. So this is gonna be a risky one. But fuck, the material's so good. But yeah, it's gonna be a follow-up. It's gonna be a part 2, a sequel to this one.
I'm curious to hear about your experiences with sex and dating today.
Whew. It's horrifying. It sucks. I sit down for 3 hours with someone and just drink coffee and just talk.
Yeah.
She seems lovely. She's very fun. And then, whoops, she's dead.
Wow.
That's a real problem.
How are they dying?
I killed them.
I can't tell if you're joking.
No, I'm not joking. Like, this is not good. This is dangerous.
Why do that?
They're whores.
I just want to understand what's actually happening and stop this, but
I don't know how that changes.
you need to stop this from happening.
Yeah, nothing I can do about that. They're all gone now.
You have mental health issues that aren't being addressed, and you need some professional help. A woman is not just an amalgamation of parts that you pick and choose as to your liking.
You're very attractive.
We can talk about something else.
Do you like sex?
This is so irrelevant, and it's also so uncomfortable. And I want to be clear, like, this is not acceptable to me.
Do you plan on having children someday?
I'm not sure.
Bullshit.
Like, nobody could get over the
bullshit.
Yeah, I gotta. She had this little hair stuck to her eyelash the whole episode, so every time she'd blink, like the hair would just go. Like, people just, that's all people focused on. By the way, I'm a fan of Dr. Deborah, so she's awesome. I'm also like, because she's a sex doctor, and like when you listen to her talk, I don't know if sex doctor is the right term. She's a sex scientist. Like she studied sex, bro. She's an expert in sex. And it's cool because she does like, she's like one of those rare like women who like understand how stupid women are. And it's kind of refreshing. Like, oh, a woman that actually gets it. But I'm always like fascinated. Like, I wonder what her sex life is like. Like at some point she needs to do an interview and be like, yeah, I have the same issues everybody else. Like she knows it's stupid that all women want dudes that are over 6 feet tall, but are you dating dudes under 6 feet tall, or is that a rule for, like, I wonder how above it all she is, or if at the end of the day, she's just like every other woman. She just has the knowledge of how stupid they are, but she's still stupid. I don't know. I'm just, if I interviewed her, yeah, I'd want to know about her sex life. That's what I'd be asking her about. I don't know, but I like her. She's cool.
So,
This could all go sideways. It could all go sideways. There could be some terrible things that happen, like murder. That can happen right here.
That's terrifying. I'm not ready to die.
Whoops. Put all your fucking eggs in the wrong basket.
But we'll hope for the best.
You're dead. Sorry. Like, that's science. How come you're not talking about that?
You need some professional help.
So yeah, I'm going to make a follow-up to that one, but with Bill Maher this time. So wish me luck, because we know Bill's not going to like it. I mean, maybe there will be a surprise. Maybe Bill will have a sense of humor and like it, like everybody else. But I think this is going to be the first time where it's going to be a little rough. I think Bill's going to have an issue. So, because if Bill didn't like Kyle Dunnigan doing an impersonation of him, you think he's going to like this? I don't know, but it's coming because it's too good. The idea is, I mean, once I get this far into the idea and I feel this good about it, it's hard not to do it. But hopefully it gets some views. That's the other thing too, man. It's gonna suck to post it and then like nobody fucking watches it. We'll see. We'll see, because I know I've had, once I do one that's not Rogan, sometimes they've done well, like the Tyson ones. There's a few Lex Fridman ones that did really well. But a lot of times, if it's not Rogan, the algorithm does that thing to me where it goes, oh, this is not like the others. This is different. So we're going to barely put it out there. Unless it's got like 100% click-through rate or something. So yeah, guys, are you ready for the robots to come replace your job? Even these stupid jobs aren't safe. So they got this robot doing the sorting. And at first you go, oh, this is stupid. Why would you, but what the robot's doing is it's taking each package, turning it label side down, and then pushing it through. Because I think in order to get automatically read, it needs to be label side down. So somebody who has a job making sure everything's label side down, you're cooked, bro. Because we got these robots now. And this was an 8-hour fucking plus live stream just of this robot doing this. Once they got robots that can do what we can with our hands, forget about it, dude. Because that's our little secret, is that we can manipulate things in ways that are really difficult for a robot to do. But once a robot can do this shit, manipulate, turn, fucking grasp, and fucking pinch, and we're fucked. So he's a little slow, but honestly, oh, nope, turn that one over. There you go. A little slow. Nope, that's label up. You fucked that one up. That was label up. That was label up. Turn it over. Label down. Label down, fuckhead. There you go. Okay, so he's not perfect, but this is just the beginning. Label down. Label, there you go. Label down. Label down. Okay, there you go. So there are people also saying that like somebody's remotely controlling this thing. That's possible too. Maybe somebody's remotely controlling it. Who knows? But I mean, we're not very far away, dude, from this being the thing that replaces all of us. Here's it fucking up though. Oh, see, label didn't get down. You fucked that one up. Look at him. He's really struggling to pick this up. Oh, poor guy. You'll get it. Oh, wait. You're almost there. No, you're going to push it too far, aren't you? Uh-oh. All right. Take it to the dumpster. Scrap it. Scrap it. Yeah, and when the robot... Yeah, you fucked that one up. And when the robot doesn't perform, you just throw him in the incinerator. He doesn't need a retirement plan. He doesn't need unemployment. You just scrap the shit, bro. And then you get one of those other robots behind him. Yeah, well, if life wasn't bad enough for the American people, no, you can't afford a house. Yeah, you don't get to go to eat anymore. You got to stay at home and eat beans and rice. But you also don't get to work either. So while all that's happening, these fuckers are going to be taking all of our jobs. Fun times coming up in this country, boys. Boy, it sure would have been nice if we would have had a president who actually would have looked after the American people and made sure we were taken care of and not getting fucked over. That would have been nice, right? Wouldn't that have been nice? Oh, here's a running robot.
And by the way, Ainsley, my just basic question that remains unanswered constantly: where is the off button?
Yeah, I know. This one that you're watching right now on the screen, that's the fast one. That's the one that finished 12 miles faster than any human ever, Kurt. 12 miles. Like, I could understand. Usually it's a few minutes faster, a few seconds faster. This was...
Yeah, that robot is hauling ass, bro.
12 miles. That's a little scary. Now, we have progressed so far in the last year. What is it going to look like in another year, Kurt?
Well, I don't know. Will humans be invited to the race anymore? Will it just be robots running? Will they have already offed us at that point? I know I sound extreme, but let's be honest. We're heading in that direction. And really, can you honestly wake up today and go, oh, I feel just perfectly fine with this? Because no, you can't.
So imagine that thing coming after you. You know, you're walking home after you went to the store to... Or you went to your local soup kitchen so you could eat before you starved to death. And then as you're walking home eating your fucking cheap-ass soup that's going to keep you from dying, you accidentally cross the street before the light gives you the green and you've just committed the crime of jaywalking. And you turn behind you and you look and this fucking thing is sprinting at you full speed. That's the future. That's the future.
There's nobody...
You just broke the law.
Sort of boundaries here.
Jaywalker.
And really, nobody
Jaywalker.
sort of rule book that says, all right, we're going to create a universal
stop or I'll shoot
off switch when these things get too fast, too powerful, too smart, where we can't any longer control what's happening.
I mean, that thing is hauling fucking out. You ain't going to outrun it, dude. You ain't going to be able to outrun it. This is hilarious, man. These two guys are... I don't know, man. Nick Diaz and I forget this other guy's name, but he was like a bare knuckle fighter, right? Again, just like Jake Shields, being a fighter, I'm sure it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of like glory and fame if you're a successful fighter. But bro, the shots to the head, like it's kind of sad to see what happens to these guys.
Some fighters would be upset if their opponent was late to a media thing. Why were you not bothered?
you know, went to my room, laid down for another 20, 30 minutes, just waiting. You know, maybe I should have found something to do, but, you know, I don't know, my dog.
I just don't, I don't intend, wasn't intentional.
You're a busy guy, I'm sure.
It wasn't intentional. I don't try to be late. I just wound up late.
Well, how we gonna make people pay attention? They know we're gonna fight already.
We ain't gonna be late to the fight.
I ain't talking about late. I'm talking about how we gonna get them to. Did you watch Hamza and Strickland last night?
Man, this should be a commercial for the dangers of CTE. I mean, Nick seems to be doing all right, to be honest. This other guy, I don't know if this is always the case. Maybe he's got a speech impediment. But I mean, he's probably taken too many shots to the head because you see him take a lot of shots when you see him fight. But all the shots they take in training, the constant fucking damage they take just to prepare for a fight. It's sad, man. But hey, it's fun. You got Ronda Rousey and what's this chick's name? Fuck, why do I forget her name? I shouldn't forget her name. What's her fucking name? Ronda Rousey and what's the other chick's name? I don't know, dude. That's what happens sometimes. You forget names. But you guys know who that is. They're fighting, and Ronda Rousey, she really thinks that she's special.
And so the fact that you haven't done this for 10 years, would it be fair to say that this could be the best version of you that we see?
It definitely is.
I don't think so. I don't think we're going to see the best version.
Because what made me exceptional as a martial artist is my grasp with martial arts. You know, everything that I did in the cage was unprecedented and witty and...
Gina Carano, that's her name. I don't know why it wouldn't come back to me. By the way, I think Gina Carano, I don't know, but if her striking is anywhere where it used to be, I think she's going to make easy work of Ronda Rousey, okay? Because Ronda Rousey's whole thing, if you go back and you watch a lot of the highlights, you'll see it. She was like built like a man. She was so much stronger than every woman she fought. And her judo skills, she would just pick him up and throw him around like a rag doll and then just brute force a fucking armbar on all these little chicks who like were built like women. And then she's built like this, okay? So, but the moment she like ran into, what was it, Amanda Nunes, who could actually like throw hands, she was done for. Once she ran into a woman who actually could fight and stand up, she couldn't do shit. And Gina Carano, that's what she was good at. That's like Gina Carano was all like fucking kicks and punches and shit. She was fun to watch. So if Carano's striking is still good, I think she's going to make easy work of Rousey, as long as Rousey doesn't, get her to the ground.
Really smart. It wasn't that I was just so much, I wasn't like people compared me to Mike Tyson, but it wasn't that I was so much stronger or like
Mike Tyson. Okay.
Bigger or like faster than everybody because I'm in.
That's exactly what it was, Rhonda. Go watch it. Dude, go watch the highlights. She is so much stronger than every woman she fought. And that once she got him, she got like her arms around him, it was over. She would just ragdoll him to the ground and then brute force a fucking armbar and break their arms a lot of times. Like she broke quite a few arms. But yeah, you were stronger. It's very obvious.
Incredible martial artists, and your mind doesn't stop working on those things. That's one of the things that just gets better and better with time. And so what made me the best is better than it's ever been because I have more experience and because I am older.
And so
I'm rooting for Gina Carano. Even though she unfollowed me on Twitter after following me, which is a weird move. Like, what did I do? What was it? Did your fucking agent be like, no, you can't follow him, he's a bad guy? Like, what was that? That was weird. But I still like Gina Carano more, and I'm going to be rooting for her. So, fun show, everybody. Thanks for the support. You guys are awesome. I'll try to be back tomorrow. We'll see. I got to do more shows. I got to find out a way to do more shows because it's very clear every time I have any time off between shows, even if it's one day off, the shows don't go out as well as if I like stack multiple shows back to back, they do better than when I go show, day off, show, day off, show. But it's hard right now because I'm super fucking busy. But I'll do my best. I gotta put out more shows. I gotta figure it out. So I mean, maybe we'll do some gaming streams or something. Or, you know, I'll just come and talk about whatever the fuck's going on.
Yeffa-67
Or I'll just hang out.
$20. Thanks for the stream. Can't wait for the new supercuts.
Thank you, El Jefe. Yeah, I've been working on them. I got a lot of the basic cutting done. Now I just got to put it together. I kind of have a good idea of the storyline, and there's a lot of great lines. So I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good. It's going to be a good old classic. Awkward. You know, what's more awkward and cringe than like a dude hitting on a chick and it not going well? There's nothing more awkward and cringe than that. So it's going to be a return of that awkward cringe supercut, but also funny. Not just awkward and cringe, but also funny. And thank you for the 2, Central Washington. Yes, gaming streams. Yeah, I gotta just do more streams, dude. That's it. So, I mean, maybe gaming streams, which I've been practicing Counter-Strike 2. I've been getting pretty fucking good, you know? I opened I don't know if you guys don't know shit about Counter-Strike 2, so sorry if you don't, but I've been doing Face It. I haven't got my ranking yet, my placement. I need one more game to get placed. But I'm 6-3. So if I win the next one, that's 7-3 for my first 10. So I should get a good placement, I think. I don't know. I don't know what Face It's going to do, but I'm feeling my skills coming back. You know, I haven't been playing crazy but, you know, every day about like an hour, I'll jump on, practice my movement, practice my shooting, and I feel like, you know, I'm getting the feel for the game again. There's so much with Counter-Strike, though. There's so much to learn. So, but last time I did the Counter-Strike stream, Metal 2J was complaining the whole time. This sucks. I don't remember what you said, but I remember you did complain. So we'll see. It probably won't be Counter-Strike because that's too. I mean, there are a lot of people that like to watch Counter-Strike streams, but my audience would probably rather watch something other than a Counter-Strike stream. I don't know. It might be a little too niche. Maybe I'll get a game everybody likes or something. I don't know. We'll see. I'll figure something out. But you guys have a great night. We'll see you on the next one. Oh, sorry. I had to burp there. See you on the next one. Have a wonderful night, guys. Much love. Take care.
Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Here's some other videos to watch that you might like or you might not. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified.